Hey there, JD here. Today we're going to do a review of a very nice watch, and I have a guest with me today. His name is Bear, and he's got a question. The question is, what kind of watch is this? Now that is a very, very good question, Bear. I'm really impressed that you're able to ask questions like that. And it is a Seiko SRP639K1 dive watch. This is a very, very beautiful watch, and we're going to have a quick review of this watch today. I think Bear has got another question. Why did I buy this watch? First of all, Bear, your printing is really, really good, and I don't know how you can do that without any hands. But other than that, I bought this watch for a few reasons. One is that it's a dive watch. I love dive watches. I've got quite a few Seiko dive watches. This is one that I was attracted to. I like the Shroud, and I like other things about the watch. It's a sports watch. I can wear it fishing, I can wear it swimming, I can wear it all kinds of sports activities. I just like the watch, and that's pretty much why I bought the watch. Plus it looks good, and usually I buy things because they look good. I don't know why, but I do, right? Is that enough? Is that a good enough answer there, Bear? Right? Huh? All right, he's having a problem. Okay. Bear's got another question. And the movement. Well, this is a 4R36 movement, Seiko movement in this watch. The movement is hacking, which means when you pull the stem out like this, see if I can make this happen, it stops the watch. And it is winding as well, so you can sit here and just spend the week winding this watch. And these watches can't be overwound because the mainspring will slip on the barrel on the inside. So, and then you can tighten it up because it's got a screw down crown. That's a case feature more than a watch movement feature. But the 4R36 movement is a very good movement. Beats at, I believe, 28,600 beats per hour. So completely accurate movement, and that's my talk about the movement. Hey, you know what? I think my friend here has got another question, and I'm not sure how he thinks these things up. But hey, Bear, do you have another question? Any other details about this watch? Well, yeah, there's lots of things to talk about this watch. First of all, it's got a Hardlex crystal, which is a Seiko designed crystal. And the name says what it means. It's hard, so very hard to scratch this crystal. There's a black dial on this. It's got beautiful white hands on the watch as well, and markers, and all of that. It's luminous, so there's lume on all of this, and the lume is incredible. If I could find a dark room, I could show you the lume. I'm not sure if that's dark enough, but it's probably really crappy. But anyway, so the lume is excellent. You can see this at night. You could probably read a book with this lume. Probably one of the strongest looms that I have in all my watches. It has a one-way rotating bezel. So this bezel here turns, and that's for diving. So it rotates like that, like this, and it only rotates in one direction because you're setting your time underwater when you're diving, and you want to make sure that you come up after 45 minutes or an hour or whatever, and otherwise you're in trouble. So the one-way bezel is tight. It's got two click balls, I guess, inside. You can hear them as they snap. So it's very, very, very secure rotating bezel. You're not going to have a problem with that. It's got a day and date display. When I bought this watch, I got it out of Indonesia, and I asked if they could make sure that the day was in English, and the guy said, yeah, don't worry, it's going to be English and Spanish. And when I flipped it over, it was actually English and Arabic. So my Arabic is not very good, so neither is my Spanish, but it had English. So you can have two languages in there. Up in Canada, it's usually English and French, but my French is also not that good. So day-date display, really nice. Also, to change the day-date as well, you just pull the stem out once, so you have it unwound like this, and then you pull that out like this, like that, one shot. And let me see if I can do that. Yeah, and that should change something there, right? So that's changing the day, I think, in that direction. You flip it in the other direction, it'll change the date. I can't see that because my video person is videoing it and I'm leaning it forward. Right, video person? Yep, she whispered. It's got a screw down crown, as I said earlier, so it's waterproof to 200 meters, but it's not waterproof to anything if you forget to screw the crown in. I've done that before in one of my other watches, but the screw down crown is pretty secure. You screw it in till it's tight, and then you give it another little turn to make sure that it's in there good, and that makes it waterproof. And you can waterproof test this as well. So it's a stainless steel case, so the case is fully stainless steel, and it's got the shroud around this case here, but we're going to talk about that in a second. It also has drilled out lugs, so as you can see the strap connects here, and there's lugs. The lugs here are drilled out, so you can just poke a needle in there to remove the strap. A lot of watches don't have drilled out lugs, and you got to go inside here to do that, so it makes it very difficult. And again, like I said before, it's water resistant to 200 meters, but not a lot of people dive in 200 meters. So casual swimming or sailing or something like this, there's not going to be anything wrong with that. So the back of the case is it's a screw down case back, and that's pretty common, this case back here. And of course it would have some kind of a gasket inside there as well, a Seiko gasket in there too. So that's pretty much, is that like, I'm not sure if that's enough details for you for now, Bear. I probably have another question coming up, but that's pretty much what the watch is, and we'll talk about this in a little bit more detail in a few seconds. All right, and wait, what? Another question. And the shroud, and the shroud. What kind of question is that? That's not even a full sentence. I've been taught to make full sentences when I was a kid, right? So make them full. Anyway, Bear. So the shroud. So the shroud in this watch, it's kind of unique. It's not a plastic shroud. You get a rubber shroud. You get kind of these plastic rubber shrouds on this. This is stainless steel shroud. Very nice. And this protects the bezel. So this is intended to protect the bezel. This watch is called a baby tuna because there's a tuna that's not a baby tuna. That's a bit bigger, a Seiko Tuna. And the shroud here is held into place by these little screws here. And these screws require an Allen key to actually tighten them and loosen them. To take the shroud off, you want to make sure that you tighten these screws occasionally to make sure you don't lose them. You could probably get a replacement, but you could lose the bezel if they all came off at once. I doubt if that would happen, but it's good practice to tighten this as well. It also has a slight indent right in here, which protects the crown a bit. So the crown is kind of laid in a bit here, and the shroud provides additional protection so you don't knock the crown, which is a nice feature of the shroud. And that's kind of all the shroud discussions I have. So Bear's got another question. Another question. What about the strap? What about the strap, Vinny? What about the strap? So what about the strap? This is a strap code strap, and it is a solid stainless steel strap. It's got a solid end piece in the lug here, which supports the drilled out lug on the end, which is very nice. The links are all solid stainless steel, and they're put together with these screws, the link screws. So if you want to size the strap properly, you can either remove a link or put one back in by just unscrewing these screws and removing it and putting it back in. Just a tip, make sure you occasionally take a screwdriver and tighten these up. If they loosen up, you're going to lose a link or lose your strap or lose your watch if you're diving with this thing. It's got a butterfly clasp on the end, as you can see. So you just press these two buttons on either side, and the butterfly clasp wings out nicely. So it's spring loaded as well. Very, very high quality strap. It's made by Strap Code, and I get most of my stainless steel straps from Strap Code. They do specialize in Seiko brands. I think this is a 22 millimeter strap as well. And if I'm wrong, you guys can correct me on the video. So that's what about the strap? What about the strap? What about? So Bear's got another question. So how comfortable is this watch? Well, for a bear, it wouldn't be comfortable at all because you're gonna have to, wear it while you're running through the woods and eating berries, and other things. So wearing a watch is kind of not comfortable at all. But for a human, this watch is amazingly comfortable. It weighs a little bit. It's got some girth on it, which I like. I like to know that it's got some weight on it. But when you put it on your wrist, you don't really feel the weight. You almost don't know it's there. In fact, when I'm wearing this at night, I actually sleep with it, and you don't know it's on. So it's very smooth. The case just rides on your wrist. If you've got a small wrist, probably not recommended. I've got a big wrist, so it fits nicely for me. So it's very very comfortable. It's a very comfortable watch. Okay. Hey, what about the style? What about the style? Oh, the style, you ask. The style. Well, this is a very stylistic watch, if that's a word. I like the sport look of the watch. I like the colors, the yellow they put in here for the 1/4 of the time here. The black and white contrast is nice. It's very easy to read the time on this watch. So if you're 900 years old and you can't see well, you can still read the time on the watch. And of course, if you're probably 14 years old, you don't know what this means at all, I suspect. So the style is nice. It definitely looks technical if you like something like that. You could wear this with a suit. Probably doesn't fit that well as an executive business watch, but you probably could get away with it. More of a sport look, so the style is really nice, and I think they did a great job with the hands and the loom and the overall look of the watch. I do like the yellow in there too. It's kind of nice. Even the minute hand has a nice yellow paint around the edge of the minute hand, which gives it even more style. So there you go. All right, I think there's one more question I've got to look at here again that Bear seems to want to ask. Is this watch an overall winner? Is it a winner? So I think this watch is an amazing watch. It's one of my favorite Seiko watches. It's rugged. It looks rugged. It stands out. People look at it. It's a stopper, right? So I think Bear would probably give this a couple of thumbs up if in fact he had any thumbs, but he doesn't. So I give it 2 thumbs up. One of my favorite Seiko watches. Reliable, beautiful, functional, all the ulls. Anyway, that's a great watch. Highly recommended. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.